kids. How are you today? Today, we're going to talk about patience. But first, do you remember what we talked about last week?
Oh, I remember last week. Remember that's when we thought that Annika was a ghost because all the lights went out.
Ooh.
That was so scary.
I remember that. That was... I did not have much peace when you were scaring me. But with God, I know that I can have peace.
That's right.
So today, we're going to learn about another fruit of the Spirit.
Oh, I love the fruits of the Spirit.
I know. Fruit is so good.
So good.
Today, we're going to learn about patience. Do you know what patience is?
Patience. I know what patience is. That's when you go to the doctor and you're waiting for your turn. You're a patient.
No, that's not patience.
No.
No, patience is waiting with a cheerful and calm heart. You do have to wait when you're a patient, but you have to be patient when you're a patient. That's a weird way to say it, but it's true. Patience means waiting. And it's being able to wait to do things instead of doing what I want to do right now. Patience is giving grace to others, even people that aren't easy to get along with, and loving them even when they make mistakes.
Even when they make mistakes?
Yes.
But that's hard.
I know. But the fruit of the Spirit, when we have the Spirit, we can be patient.
Oh,
I'm
that's
really
cool.
I really want patience, do you?
Yes.
So, today we're going to practice. You see these fruits in front of you, these fruit snacks?
Oh, they look really good.
Yeah.
I want to eat them all.
Don't eat them.
But apple ones look like my
No.
favorite. I want one.
I want them.
Be patient.
But I really like fruit snacks.
We're going to do a game today, and you have to be patient, so you can't eat the fruit snacks. Okay?
Well, can we eat just one?
No.
Just the right.
No,
the right
no, that's
flavor.
not patience.
Can I lick it?
You
What if
must
I
be
just
patient.
lick one?
No, not today. Not yet. Later. So be patient and wait with a calm heart. Now, we're going to go sing some songs, and we'll play our game a little later. Let's go sing some songs.
Okay.
Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna, Hosanna, ho, ho, Hosanna. Everybody praise the Lord. Everybody praise the Lord.
Come on, so let God hear the praise from us. Yeah, and love people like the Savior does. Hey, and you ain't never gonna be the same when you L-O-V-E in Jesus' name. Yeah.
God's love is like no other.
Hey, hey.
We're gonna love each other. Come on, everyone, reach out and love someone. We're gonna love each other. God's love is like no other. We're gonna love each other. Reach out and love someone. We're gonna love each other.
Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for making me.
The monkeys in the jungle say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
The monkeys in the jungle say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.
The monkeys in the jungle say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for making me. Oh, let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for making me.
The bears in the woods say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Roar, roar, roar.
The bears in the woods say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Roar, roar, roar.
The bears in the woods say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Roar, roar, roar. Thank you, Lord, for making me. Oh, let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for making me.
The gators in the swamp say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
The gators in the swamp say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
The gators in the swamp say thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Thank you, Lord, for making me. Oh, let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Let everything that God made say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for making me.
Hi. So now today we're going to do a Bible lesson about patience. Are you guys ready to learn about patience some more?
I'm so ready.
Good, good. Annika, are you ready to learn about patience?
Maybe. I just really want to eat these right now. They look so good.
I
And
know.
they smell amazing.
I know. But you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient. So,
It is like waiting at the doctor's office. You just can't wait for your turn.
I know. So, patience, as we said earlier, is waiting with a cheerful and calm heart. Can you guys do that?
I don't know.
I'll try.
It's very hard, but you know what? With God's help, we can do it. Did you know that?
Okay.
Yes, so with God's help, you can be patient. By yourself, it's very hard. So it's important to pray for patience and to trust in God and to look at His example. Do you know of any times when Jesus was very patient?
Did Jesus have to wait for a treat too?
maybe the Bible doesn't tell us about him waiting for a treat, but it does show him being very patient with his disciples, because they always said the wrong thing. They didn't know what Jesus was doing, but he was always very patient with them. So that's an example of patience for us. Now, our verse today is always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. So one time, Peter told Jesus that he should not go to Jerusalem and die on the cross. And Jesus was very patient with him. He did tell him, "Get behind me, Satan." But he was still very kind to him, because even though Peter was wrong, Jesus was patient with him, and he still went to the cross.
Wow.
I know. Jesus was so patient, and we can be too. Now, today, I want to teach you a game, okay?
Okay, I like games.
I love games.
Yeah, it's called the patient game.
Oh.
You see these fruits in front of you?
Oh, I so see these in front of me.
I do.
Yes.
They
So,
smell so good.
now that you know what patience is, if you eat one now, you can.
Oh, good. I want that now.
But wait. If you want to eat the big pile, you have to wait till later.
What? Till
Yes.
later? That's not now. I'm
Yeah.
hungry now.
I know, but you gotta be patient. So, you can choose. If you eat one now, you can have it.
Oh, good. I want it. I want it.
But you can't eat the big pile later. But if you don't eat one now, you can have the big pile later.
But I can eat one right now.
Yes.
Oh, good.
What are you gonna do?
I like
I
it.
just ate mine. Oh, it was so good. It was so good, just delicious.
Oh,
It's so yummy.
I want another one.
So much.
I want more. Can I have more
that's
now?
all you get. That's all you get.
But I want another one.
But you guys, I don't think you're learning much about patience. But maybe you'll learn at the end when I get all of the fruit snacks. But we'll go on now to the next part.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
God's story, God's promise to Abraham. So part of God's story is about a promise God made to Abraham, and it begins like this. Once there was a guy named Abraham. He had a wife, Sarah. They didn't think they could have any kids, which was a major disappointment because they really wanted a family. But little did Abraham know that God had a very special plan for him. When Abraham was 75 years old, God promised to give him kids, and one day God would send the rescuer through his family. All God asked was that Abraham and Sarah leave their home first and follow him. Now, they had a tough choice to make. Leave all their friends and trust God, or stay comfortable. This was not easy. See, Abraham really wanted kids, but was already pretty old. Sarah was getting up there too. Not to mention, she had never been able to get pregnant. So if Abraham and Sarah were going to leave their home and trust in God's promise, they had to believe that God would do something that seemed impossible. The good news is, they decided to trust that God would keep his promise. That's always the right choice. So Abraham and Sarah moved from their home to a land called Canaan. Right away, God reminded Abraham of his promise. He said, "I will make your children like the dust of the earth. Can specks of dust be counted? If they can, then your children can be counted." This was God's funny way of telling Abraham he would have a lot of kids, because nobody can count every piece of dust. Well, this promise seemed great, but after a while, Abraham and Sarah still had no kids, let alone as many as the pieces of dust. Now, they were really old. Sometimes God doesn't remind us of his promises because he wants us to learn to trust him. But God took Abraham outside at night and told him to look at the stars. He reminded Abraham that he would give him that many kids. So Abraham decided to keep believing God. He and Sarah waited again. After more years, he got impatient. This time, God told Abraham, by next year, Sarah will have a son. But by now, Abraham was 99 years old. He and Sarah had both given up on having kids and God's promise. In fact, When Abraham told Sarah what God said, she laughed. It's probably not a good idea to laugh at God's promises, but Sarah was tired of waiting and had stopped trusting. The great thing is, even if we think it's impossible, God really does keep his promises. And just like God promised, Sarah got pregnant the next year after Abraham's 100th birthday. When her son was born, she named him Isaac, which means laughter. Sarah said, "God has given laughter to me. Everybody who hears about this will laugh with me." And think about it. A really old lady having a baby is pretty funny. God kept his promise to give Abraham and Sarah a son. Even though they didn't think it was possible, it was easy for God because he can do anything, including giving old people babies. And remember how God was going to give Abraham as many children as the stars in the sky? Well, Isaac grew up and had children who had more children who had more children. This kept going and going and going. And guess who eventually was born in Abraham's line? The rescuer himself, God's son, Jesus. All because Abraham followed God and trusted God to keep his promise. And that's the story of God's promise to Abraham. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Abraham and Sarah were old. God promised to give Abraham kids. Abraham and Sarah waited. They got impatient. God reminded them he keeps his promises. Abraham and Sarah waited more. They got impatient again. God told them Sarah would have a baby. Sarah laughed. She had a baby. Jesus was eventually born into their family. God always keeps his promises. And that's a part of God's story.
Hello, boys and girls. So last week you guys were working with a watermelon and you guys threw it on the rock to cut it. Well, today we are going to do something a little bit different. We're going to use a pineapple and we are going to cut it up, but pineapples take kind of a long time to cut. So we have to be patient. So that is why we're using a pineapple today. So what you will need is just a pineapple.
Did I hear you say pineapple?
Oh, yes, we did.
I love pineapples.
Oh, perfect. You know, they're actually the same color as your hair when you open them up.
Really?
Yes.
That's probably why I love them so much.
Well, perfect. Then you can try some in just a little bit.
Oh, I could try.
Oh, not right now, not right now. We're gonna.
Are you sure? I
Yes.
really want some right now.
Oh, well, no, not right now. You gotta be patient.
Oh, patient. What?
Patient.
Patient? What is that?
It means you have to wait when you don't want to wait.
Oh, I gotta wait. Okay. Waiting.
And for you guys, you will want your parents to cut it for you, or unless they give you supervision and they say that you can.
Can I be done waiting now?
No, not yet. See,
Oh.
I'm still cutting it.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't the top of this look kind of funny?
Yes.
So spiky. It kind of looks like a crown.
It sure does. Are you done now?
No.
Okay.
Now I turn it like this, and not.
Oh, sorry. It just looks so good.
Yes. Well, you can try it in just a little bit. What's your favorite fruit?
Pineapple!
Oh, is that right?
Yes, I love pineapple.
Well, then you can try. Hey, not yet.
Sorry. I'm being patient.
Have you had any other stories of you being patient before in life?
Well, right now I'm waiting very patiently for pineapple. I think, I can't think of any stories.
Never? Not even when you maybe wanted to go on the play set and you wanted to go on a swing, but your friend was on the swing and you're like, get off, I want to go on the swing, it's my turn. And then you had to wait.
I do remember that. I guess I did be a little patient that time.
Yeah?
But maybe I need to work on being more patient. Seems like I'm not very patient.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody struggles with not being patient. But we can all try to be patient.
How can I get better at it?
Well, every single time you try, you get a little bit better. So the more you try, the better you get. So right now, you're getting better at being patient because you're trying.
Yes. Notice I haven't tried eating it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes. I'm being patient.
And I'm almost done. And I had to be patient too because I wanted to eat this too. But there we go. It's all done. Look at that. Now they're all in little
boy.
cubes.
Okay, give me some.
Okay. Wow, you eat that
That
fast.
is so
Oh my.
good.
Yeah, should I try some too?
Yes.
Mmm.
Thank you.
This is a
Love
very good
that.
pineapple. Okay, well, boys and girls, that's it for today. So enjoy your pineapple and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, boys and girls. Today we've got Jamie here again to help us. We are going to write a letter and we're going to mail it and we're going to hopefully get one back. We're going to be pen pals. So first you're going to need some cardstock or construction paper. And then we're going to need crayons and markers or a colored pencil or something. We're going to decorate it. So we can even use stamps or like stickers. Jamie, you love stickers, don't you? Me too. So, why don't you first fold your construction paper in half to make a card? I love purple. That's just beautiful. And then make sure you decorate it really, really pretty. And we can even put some words in there too. We could tell them about patience that we're learning about today. But you know what? You're gonna have to be really patient when you're waiting for a letter back. That takes a while. Decorate your card. I love that sticker. Don't you love that Jamie uses purple? Purple's my favorite color. Oh, good job. card and you're going to put it into your envelope. And then you write the address on there and you send it to your friend. And if they know a letter's coming, they're going to have to be really patient while they're waiting for it. And if you're pen pals and they're going to send you a card back, you're going to have to be super patient waiting, because they have to first get theirs, then write to you, and then they're going to send one back to you. That's a lot of patience, isn't it? But it'll be so fun. Just think of how much you love getting mail. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? They're going to love getting their letter too.
Wasn't that a great lesson today?
It sure was.
It was.
I really loved learning about patience.
Me too.
What did you guys learn about patience today?
Well, I sure learned that I should have been patient and waited so that I could have more fruit snacks, because that one wasn't very satisfying. Kind of like when I went to the store with my mom. She said that if I was really, really good and really patient, she'd buy me a new dress. And I was so patient that I got this new dress, and I love it.
Oh, that's very nice.
That's wonderful.
Yes, so patience pays off, doesn't it?
It sure
It
does.
does.
Yes, and now, since I waited, I get to eat all the fruit snacks. Patience sure pays off, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh.
Monica, I wish we would have been patient.
Me too.
This is so hard to
That
bear.
was so good.
Hi kids! So today we're going to do our memory verse about being patient. So I'm going to read our verse and you can say it together with me in your class. So this is always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Ephesians 4:2. So this verse is saying how we should always be patient with each other. And then this part where it's making allowance for each other's faults because of your love, that means that even when your friend does something that you don't like, or if your sibling doesn't want to share with you, or if they're doing anything bad against you, you can be patient with them because you can forgive their faults, and because of your love through Jesus, you can love them and be patient and help them to learn to be kind. So let's say this verse together again. Always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Ephesians 4:2. So this week, I want you to practice saying this verse with your parents so you can say it in class next week. And this week, I also want you to think about ways that you can practice being patient. You could put a puzzle together with your family because that takes lots of time and patience as you're looking for the right piece. Or you could bake something and wait patiently while it's cooking in the oven. You can be creative and think of all the different ways that you can be patient and learn to be patient all the time. And remember, ask God for help if you're struggling being patient. So I'll see you again next week. Bye!